Hi there, folks. Welcome to my weekly Patreon update. My name is Bill Ricardi, reporting in from a frigid day here in Belfast. So what has happened the last week? Well, last week was vacation, but we've started working once again. After I delivered the holiday short story Still Standing, I took as much time off as possible from the world of writing, and I, had a great time with my friends and my family over the holidays. Happy New Year to everyone, and we are back in business as of the 2nd of January. What have I been doing? The second book in the Ihi saga, which is tentatively called Cadence, that has been what I broke ground on. That is almost completely outlined, but one change that I made was I echoed the kind of intro that you saw in Rhythm in the first book, whereas we get a perspective from someone who is not the protagonist as part of the introduction chapter. So the intro very much fits the theme of the rest of the book in that it's a much darker intro than what you would see in the likes of Rhythm. Even though Rhythm was not exactly all, rainbows and unicorns, we are seeing an even darker theme starting to emerge in the second book in the Ihi saga. So with Cadence, we're looking at an Empire Strikes Back type of moment where we get some big reveals as to who the antagonists are, and we get to see a lot of action, from the other side, and the reactions of what is going to happen with the protagonist, what happens with the protagonist and the protagonist's old friends, what new friends they make, mentors, etc., etc. That all happens in the second novel. So stay tuned for that. What is the course of the rest of the year? Well, the rest of the year looks a lot like last year. We're going to put out 3 novels with an April release, and then 4 months after that, and then, of course, just before Christmas. The 3 novels that are being released are Cadence, the second book in the Ihi saga, the second book in the Blackstaff trilogy, the Blackstaff Children, and then the final book in the first part of the Ihi saga. Now, unlike my fantasy series, which are, trilogies with certain names and certain timelines, the Ihi saga will continue to fluidly go after that. It may have a different protagonist, but the timeline will be pretty much chronologically very close, if not simultaneous with action that has happened, in other books. So you're not going to see a huge time leap like you did between Another Stupid Trilogy and the Blackstaff siblings. There was a big time leap, there's a generation leap, brand new characters, etc., etc. You won't see that necessarily with the Ihi saga. It's all going to come under the Ihi saga brand name. It's all going to be one series, and it will continue on from the point where the last book left off. Again, if not shifting back to get some simultaneous action in there before, branching off into the future. So, yeah, it's a very different concept that hopefully people are going to enjoy that. On the Patreon side, we're still the same number of patrons, and thank you so much for your generosity. It has been, a great run so far, but we're nowhere near the stretch goals. And if people want to see things like 4 novels a year, if they want to see breaking ground on a new production studio, if they want to see live streams and things of that nature, spread the word. Start getting involved yourself with your wallet, and tell your friends that there's a creator here who's creating some great modern fantasy as well as some great classical fantasy, and hopefully we get the word out. Once we get enough patrons, we're going to start with live streams. We're going to start with looking to put out 4 novels a year instead of 3. And of course, the benefits are all there. For even $1 a month, you're looking at access to whatever the latest novel is. But for $5 a month, you get the entire back catalog and the whole 9 yards. So one tactic would be subscribe to me for $5 a month for a month or two, and then cut back to $1 a month and just ride whatever the latest novel is. But if you are more generous than that, there are some special perks. Direct access to me via the likes of Discord, via the likes of a more private channel up on Telegram. And of course, the very stretch goals involve a lot more personal interaction. So there you go. What I am enjoying is sending out those signed first edition copies, which is for 25 or more a month. You get those, and that has been a blast. I get to personalize them and send them out, and that's great. So there you go. That's what's happening. That's the State of the Union. That's what the plan is for the next year. If you want to see any changes to that plan, if you want to see any sort of additions to it, please let me know over on Patreon. A couple of side projects that we're doing, I am converting rhythm into a Hollywood script. Now that's spare time, if you know what I mean. That's weekend work. So that's going to take at least 8 to 10 weeks of my weekend work before I get a workable script that can be submitting to the likes of Hollywood agents and Hollywood studios. And one of the other side projects that I'm doing is, of course, keeping the Ihisaga Wikia up to date. And I'll be updating that for the short story in the near future as well. Some of the new data that has come out. That's it, though. You now know my life. You know where I'm going and what's going to be happening. It is a Friday. I'm going to keep it short. Everyone have a wonderful week and start your new year off right and go have some fun somewhere. See you later.